I started to call in.
All
right, roll.
Go Birdman.
Hello and welcome to the crossover, where nothing is out of bounds and everything is fair game. We have a lot to cover with you today, but first, let's check in with the Tunnel Crew. Please give a warm welcome to Stacks, Aggie P, Rooftop, TP, and Big T.
What's happening, everybody? And once again, it's time for At Home with the Crossover. I'm your man, Big T, alongside my tag team partners, the usual cast of characters. We talking about none other than the Queen, First Lady, the Doctor. She is in the house. TP, what's happening?
What's up, everybody? Blessings to everyone.
Blessings, oh blessings. I love it. And then we got my man bringing the ag swag to the show. Also wearing that crossover sports polo. Like that, man. Aggie P, what's going on?
Hey, Aggie Pride is nationwide, Big T. Always representing, buddy.
There you go. There you go. Then we got Radar Charles as usual with his sunglasses on. Hey, looking like he can't see. Radar, what's going on, man?
I can't contain myself. Narrow is the way when Giannis is coming to play, baby.
Oh,
Let's go, baby.
Boy, I forgot he's a huge Giannis and Bucks fan. So there we go. And then we got the man keeping us on track, holding things down in the digital world, making sure we got our buffers and all that stuff together. Birdman is in the house. Bird, what's up?
Big things popping, little things stopping.
There you go.
Don't hurt him.
And he making sure everybody can see that Eagles hat. Hey, listen up, everybody. Together, we are the Tunnel Crew, watching everything that happens inside and outside the tunnel, leading to the lines of competition in the world of sports. Feels good to be back because we had a 2-week break, but now Tunnel Crew is back. We got a lot to talk about, and we're going to start it off with our man, the #1 Hurricanes fan. He's the longest standing season ticket holder to the Carolina Hurricanes. And of course, he's here to put a wrap on the NHL season that just ended. Larry joins us now on the crossover, At Home with the Crossover. Larry, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much, Big T. Looking forward to hockey season starting up.
It just ended.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, no, it never ends.
It never ends. That's right. Well, let's go ahead and get right on into it. And we're going to start off with something I know you really don't want to talk a lot about, but we have to, you know. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they just finished up the championship. They won 4-1, I think, over was it Edmonton?
Montreal.
Montreal. I got my teams mixed up over Montreal. That's right. The Canadians. And 4-1, so it wasn't even close. And most of the games were massacres, and Tampa Bay has repeated because, of course, we know last year, you know, they won, and the year before that, they had the best record and got swept out. So go ahead, Larry, and I know you don't like it, but go ahead and talk just a little bit about Tampa Bay.
Okay, well, Tampa Bay is a great team. No question about it. They are the best team in the NHL right now. But they were $18 million over the cap when they played in the playoffs. You know, what happened was their best player and one of the best players in the NHL went out for surgery at the beginning of the season, and Kucherov, and he came back and he was ready to play in the playoffs. He led all the scoring. He was phenomenal. But his salary put them over the cap by $18 million. I'm just saying. And the Hurricanes played the best against them than any other team did.
They did.
Yeah, they really did. They gave them a run for the money. So we were competitive. And, you know, there's always next season.
Well, so what you were talking about with Kucherov being out, that's sort of like one of those loopholes in the rules, because what they did was not illegal, but a lot of people frowned on it.
Yes,
that's one of those loopholes. Just it would be like if let's say, for instance, if Giannis got hurt you know, at the beginning of the season, and then they put him on IR, but he was allowed to come back in the playoffs, and it didn't impact their salary cap. So they went out and signed, let's say they went out and signed a big time free agent to replace Giannis, and they were able to keep that guy and have Giannis in the playoffs with no salary cap hit.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's essentially what happened.
So,
but I give credit to Tampa Bay. They really are a good team.
Yeah.
I liked the team, and I love their coach. Their coach is wonderful.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way they won. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of people complained about it too, so you're not by yourself.
All
right, well, let's look ahead to the Canes, the off-season expectations. Has the expansion draft happened yet? And if so, did Carolina lose anybody big?
The expansion draft happens tomorrow night at 8:00.
Okay.
Two surprises, or the two people that are most likely, one of them is most likely to go to the Kraken with Seattle, is either Nino Niederreiter or Jake Bean.
Okay.
One of those two. And I suspect it will be Jake Bean because Ron Francis drafted him when he was general manager of the Hurricanes.
Okay.
So he knows what he's got.
And he's with the
Jake
Kraken
is
now.
a young defenseman, played through the playoffs with us, and he's coming along.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's not one of the established Canes. He's a younger guy.
That's correct. That's
okay,
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that might, you know, I mean, you never want to say it's not going to be a big loss, but, you know, it doesn't sound like it's going to be as big of an impact loss as, you know.
The other thing they might do is pick up Dougie Hamilton, and that would be a real blow.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be a real blow.
Yeah,
so
we'll
see. Ron Francis does not like the Hurricanes. He was fired by the Hurricanes, and he'd love to stick it to us, I believe.
Hey, for those who don't know, like Larry said, Ron Francis was the Hurricanes general manager. Well, they've got an expansion team starting in Seattle, and he's gone out there to take over as general manager of that team. And he's already taken the Hurricanes radio guy, you know, radio voice. You know, he was basically let go by the Canes, and Francis said, hey, well, not necessarily Francis. I'm sure he was in the owner's ear, but, you know, basically said, hey, come on out here to Seattle and call our games. And so that's where he is. And of course, a lot of people think he wants to get a lot of the Carolina Hurricane players too. So,
and had Rod Brindamore not signed a contract with the Hurricanes, he would be the coach of the Kraken, I believe. But, you know.
I think you're right.
You know, it's a game.
I think you're right. Hey, anybody else want to jump in and ask Larry something?
Larry, the downtime, since the season is over, how much downtime do hockey players have before they start back training and going back into their season?
Well,
do they usually take like a month off or 2 months? How did that work?
Most of those players are constantly training, especially if they play for the Hurricanes. Rod Brindamore makes sure that they're in a regimen where they are working out just like it was a regular season.
Wow.
And yeah, these guys have to stay in shape for Rod because Rod sets the example for them.
Okay.
And he has that reputation. Yeah. So most of them, a lot of them go to Canada for camps with other former NHL players who work with them and that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. They're all friends. Most of them know each other and work out together, and then they go their separate ways to their separate teams. It's pretty odd.
Yeah. That is odd.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Wow.
Aggie P, you know, we've talked about Brindamore being a workout fanatic. You know, I mean,
right.
They showed the guy what he looks like with his shirt off here. So it's kind of hard for the players to go into the off season and get chunky and not do anything when your coach looks like he can still play. You know.
I suspect if Rod wanted to, he could be out on the ice with them. Yeah, he's that kind of fella. Yeah. I remember after games, being able to go downstairs and see them come off the ice and so forth, or go to their cars. And Rod would never come out because he would be riding the bike after every game. He would be continuous workout. I mean,
he's serious, man.
He's very serious.
So it sounds like we're not going to be losing a major player. It's not going to be a major blow with the expansion draft. So moving forward, free agency and all that stuff, what do you think is going to happen?
There was an article this morning that came out, and the title of it is Most Important Offseason in Years for the Hurricanes.
Wow.
We're very close. We're very close to getting into the finals of the Stanley Cup. Okay. Yeah. But we need some extra players, an extra push. So I think there's going to be a lot of trades that come down the pipe this coming week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, you got a hockey name of the day for us?
Yes, I do. This is a player that I would love to see in a Hurricanes jersey. He is the captain of the Colorado Avalanche, and the Colorado Avalanche did not protect him from the draft tomorrow with Seattle.
Okay.
His name is Gabriel Landeskog. That's Landeskog. And the reason I like him, if he was on the line with Svechnikov, when Svechnikov gets picked on, Landeskog would go over there and make sure the guy knows you don't do that to one of our best players.
Wow.
He looks out for our players. That's why Landeskog, I'd love to see him in a Hurricanes jersey.
Yeah. Well, Larry, look, man, we have appreciated having you on throughout the entire hockey season, and we look forward to talking to you again in the fall when the next hockey season kicks off. Thank you for joining us as usual, man.
Okay. Thanks. I'll see you in September.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Larry.
Take it easy, Larry.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That was our man, Larry, joining us to talk NHL and Carolina Hurricanes. When we come back, it's the second segment of the show. You're listening to At Home with the Crossover.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Band. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, two locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. Be sure to catch this live at-home version of the show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube, and you can do that by going to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. And once you get there, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the show, and tell all your friends about it. And then you can catch us on WLJFradio.com for the audio edition of the show that comes on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. And like I said, you can find that version on WLJFradio.com. You can also listen to that version on the WLJF 100.7 app, and it's available both on Google Play and in the iTunes store. So catch both versions every week. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on YouTube, Thursday night, 7 p.m. on WLJFradio.com or the 100.7 WLJF app. All right, now it's time for the hot topics. And it's the hottest stories in sports. May not be what everybody else is talking about, but it's the things we want to talk about. And we're going to kick this hot topics off with, of course, the NBA Finals, because we were off for a couple of weeks and we didn't get a chance to talk about the beginning of the finals. So we're right smack dab in the middle of the finals, and things could wrap up tonight, believe it or not. But hey, the Bucks trailed in the series 2-0, looked bad in the first two games, and then all of a sudden they went on a tear and have won 3 straight and are on the verge of winning the title tonight. Hey, Radar Giannis, hey, he had 2 big, huge finals moments. You know how when you see all these highlights from the finals every year and you see like these moments that you never forget, like Jordan switching hands against the Lakers and all these different finals moments. Well, you know, he had the block. You know, everybody was talking about the block in game 4. And then in game 5, the breakaway dunk, you know, the alley-oop dunk that pretty much sealed the game. So let's go ahead and jump on into this. But the Suns, not only were they up 2-0 in the series, but they had a 16-point lead in game 5 in the first quarter and blew it at home. Are they in trouble? I mean, we know they're in trouble, but, you know, is this it? Is it over tonight? Let's throw this out to the crew. Let's talk about it. Is it the Bucks winning it tonight, or the Suns going to stave off elimination, force a game 7? Tunnel crew, give me your thoughts.
Go ahead, Radar. I know you've been waiting. Go ahead, Radar.
You've been having it inside.
Thank you. You know, I appreciate it. First of all, I'm offended at the fact that you said they played terrible, played bad the first 2 games.
They did.
It's the finals. They supposed to play bad. It's the finals. But I'm loving the way Giannis has come alive.
Uh-huh.
The dude's playing. He playing within himself. And he's making big plays in big moments. Big T. I told y'all before the finals started. His moments when he hurt his ankle against the Heat, and then Heat against the Raptors, those are his Michael Jordan moments. When Michael Jordan got clamped down by the Pistons and the Celtics. So now it's his time. It's his turn.
He still can't make a free throw.
He can't. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. And this is going right to Birdman and LeBron. Get ready. Next season is your turn. Get ready. Buckle up. It's Giannis time, baby. Who wants some?
So Radar, you say it's over tonight.
Game 6. Game 6. We all know what game 6 means.
Radar, it has to go 7 games.
No.
It has to.
Okay. It should. We all would love it to, but game 6 says it all. This is Michael Jordan level again. Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night.
Hey,
LeBron, first the block, then the alley-oop. What is he going to do tonight? That's all I got to say.
Now before I hand off the Bird, I will say this, okay? To be honest with you, now, I think if they win, Giannis is going to win MVP, but I think that's only because this is the way things are done. Because to be honest with you, Chris Middleton really should be MVP if the Bucks win. I mean, he should. But we know how politics and how sport, right, Aggie P? You know how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, how many quarterbacks have we seen win the MVP when they didn't do nothing? You know what I'm saying? It was all defense, you know, but that's the way sports is. All right, Bird, you look like you were ready to say something. You shake your head. Go ahead.
Giannis. We can't do nothing but just drive. We just so one-dimensional. We're just one-dimensional. I haven't seen no change in his game yet in this playoff series. Mm-hmm. That's why I believe it's going to go to a game 7 because he's so one-dimensional. Okay, so what? He won 3 games because of his play. He stepped up in a major way. playoff Giannis. Yeah, big deal.
Yeah.
But you're in a different game now. This ain't the era of Michael Jordan where you could just drive up into the paint. Where's your mid-range game at? Where your free throw game at? Matter of fact, how about you do, if you're gonna do LeBron, I'll take this to Radar and Giannis's court. How about you go outside the perimeter? Show me what you could do in the perimeter. How about that? But you're so one-dimensional that you're gonna get beat.
But you know what though? I will jump in and say this, okay? I hear what you're saying, but if it's working, you see what I'm saying? You know, that's like a team that can run the ball down your throat in football for 300 yards. Why stop if you can do it? You know, because everybody's saying, well, that's not the way football is played now. We throw the ball all over the field. Well, guess what? We don't. We run. Derrick Henry will run the ball down your throat until somebody proves they can stop it. And of course, the Ravens proved they can stop it. So we'll see if you're right tonight, Bird. We'll see.
He's gonna do what LeBron couldn't do. He's gonna send Chris Paul home.
Well,
first round, Bird, man. Come on, man. Next year, baby. Let's go, Giannis.
Listen. He's not on LeBron's level yet. How many rings does LeBron have?
Oh, no. We're going to ring argument.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. We're going to see a new king, baby.
No,
everybody's got to win their first, Bird. I mean, you can't automatically win 6 in 1 year, you know?
I take Chris Paul over Giannis. Giannis is young. He ain't ready to play yet.
You know what? I hope and pray LeBron stays healthy all the way to the finals so the king, Giannis, from Honda can take him out in the finals on the big stage. Give me that crown.
Speaking of, how is he going to do next season with a full season?
And I hope his son is there on the sideline to see it.
Hey, you have jumped to next season already. You got to win this one.
I'm trying to talk about this
in the book.
TP, jump on here, TP.
I got my shirt on eBay already.
Oh Lord. I was gonna say, you know, one thing about Chris Paul, no matter what, people kind of want him to win because, of course, it's the underdog. You're talking about the person who was president of the Players Association there for the NBA.
That's
and
right.
Of course, you have new blood Giannis. So it kind of goes back one time when Radar was talking a few weeks ago. He was saying, hey, Giannis is the new thing. Everybody wants the new hotness. And, you know, at the same time, you kind of want that, but you got to stick with the underdog in a way as well, because, you know, Chris Paul being from North Carolina right here, definitely rocking the HBCU gear. So I have to give it to him for that. And I like Giannis too. It's a hard decision. Yeah. And it kind of just depends on when it comes down to it, who's going to be the better leader for the team.
Yeah, Giannis is from the motherland, so we need to go for him because he's from the
But at the same time, Radar.
Lord, did he pull that one out?
I know it. But I was going to say, you know, just
motherland supersedes state land. Let's go with the motherland.
There's no need in arguing with Radar. He's made his mind up, which is cool. Y'all have already been talking about next season, and we don't even know who's crowned. But
exactly.
Okay. So, you know, all right. Okay.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. This is what it's about. This is what the crossover is all about.
That's right.
I love it. I don't know. You and Birdman gonna have to duke it out for your preseason and just get it out. So, you know, everybody's on LeBron.
Yeah.
I really think after LeBron does a season or two, when his son is in, I think he's gonna take a back seat. I could be wrong.
I think he's already, his body's starting to break down. I think
it is. And the King's body's building up stronger than ever, like a young Simba.
Oh Lord. All right, hey, let's move on to our next story, and it still involves NBA players and WNBA players because there's a lot been going on with our national teams. Of course, we know the Olympics kicks off this weekend, and both the men's and women's teams struggle, you know, mightily in the exhibition games leading up to the Olympics. So the men started off 0-2 in Vegas and didn't look good at all. And then they righted the ship. They won their next 2 games and finished 2-2 heading into the Olympics. Check this out. Coach K coached Now, y'all know I don't like giving the man credit, but you got to give him credit. He coached Team USA for 11 years. And during that time, they went 88-1, 76-game winning streak, 24-0 in the Olympics with 3 gold medals. They won 5 gold medals total if you include the world championships. And and then in 2 days, Team USA lost 2 exhibition games without him. First 2 games they played since he stepped down as the coach, they lost. So to go from 88-1 to 0-2, I know it's exhibition. And then the women started off 0-2 with they played the WNBA All-Stars and lost, which the WNBA All-Stars said they had a lot to prove in that game. And then they came out and lost their next game. Then they won their 3rd game. So they're going to Tokyo with a 1-2 record in the exhibition season. My question to the Tunnel Crew, should we be concerned about the men's and women's national basketball teams going to represent the USA in the Olympics?
Yes.
Ooh, that was.
Let me tell you one of the reasons why. If we look at history, everything has been about if we can beat the Americans, then we're on a certain level.
Yeah.
Whether or not other countries, I mean, you think about other countries, Kukoc, all of them came over to come here to play because we set the standard. Now, we have broadened to other places with NBA. That's why we go over there and play exhibition games. But let me tell you something. I believe Kevin Durant and then went over there and was thinking, okay, this is going to be okay, until they saw them guys from Africa about tall as them, bigger than them. And then when it came down to it, because I don't know his name, but homeboy who blocked Kevin Durant's.
That was embarrassing.
That's a bad man. I'm sorry. I was like, oh, Kevin Durant, he's never had to worry about height or anybody blocking him into that game other than LeBron. So
that was embarrassing.
Yes, because people have to realize that how much study time goes into this, watching film, doing plays, trying to get the best coaches. There are so many guys here, even who tried out for the NBA. I'm telling you from my own experience, there are so many guys here that were right there on that level. And that just, they went overseas to play. So if they were right here and they went overseas to play, these guys have already played with that right there to the best. And now you're sitting here playing against the guys from the NBA. Oh no, they ready to fight. They ready to prove from their own country who they are.
Well, and real quick, I'm tired of hearing everybody blame. Well, they don't have Chris Middleton. They don't have Devin Booker. They don't have a Holiday. That's why. Because when those guys finish the finals and they get them back, they're gonna be all right. And they lost Bradley Beal because of COVID, and they lost who's the other guy they lost because of COVID? Well, I know also Kevin Love. They lost him because of an injury. And they're like, oh, we lost all these guys, but we got these guys from the finals that are going to become. It's excuses, Yeah. I mean, you can't make excuses.
That's right.
You're absolutely right. Like TP said, we should be worried. I mean, they are hungry to prove something.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. They are.
Most definitely. Hey, everybody, be sure to catch this live at home edition of Crossover every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. And you can do that on the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. And that's Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. And then catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on WLJFradio.com. You can also download the 100.7 WLJF app, which is available both in Google Play and in the iTunes Store. All right, when we come back, we got our question of the day. You're listening to At Home at the Crossover.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, two locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
100.7 WLJF.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover, and you can catch this live At Home edition every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and look for the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Once you get there, be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. Catch us every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. live, and then Thursday nights, 7 p.m. you can catch the original audio version of the show, and it's available on WLJFradio.com, and it's also available on the 100.7 WLJF app. And so that's Thursday nights at 7 p.m. So catch both versions of the show every week. All right, TP, we got any social media shout outs or comments or commentary? Uh-oh, muted.
Sorry about that. We just had people saying, just liking us and saying they enjoy the show. So we appreciate that, and appreciate all of our listeners here on 100.7 and also on our YouTube channel, and all the comments as well coming from Facebook and all of our social media. So we thank you.
All right, great. Thank you, TP. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about a story that happened here that's going to lead us into our question of the day. Last week, free agent Richard Sherman, he played for Seattle, and lately he's been with the 49ers, and he's a free agent now looking for a team, but this is going to hurt his chances of getting signed because he was arrested last week on 5 misdemeanor charges. He was arrested and released on 5 misdemeanor charges in Seattle. And basically, he was seen on the Ring video of his in-laws' home, banging on the door, kicking the door, trying to force his way in. You could hear his kids, screaming and hollering, and his wife and her parents. And eventually, they called 911. And like we said, he was arrested. And his wife, she said he's a good person. He just needs help. She said this is not his character, and the kids weren't hurt. He didn't hurt anybody. This is what she said. She said he is taking antidepressants and other medications that, affect mood and stuff like that. And he, after he appeared in court, made a comment that he was sorry. He apologized for the incident, and he was sorry for everything that happened and everything that went down. And he said he's going to get help. He's going to get the help he needs. And so to me, looking at the situation, because we all know Richard Sherman's basically a genius. I mean, the guy is super smart. Graduated from Stanford, and I mean, his GPA was off the charts. And anytime you see him in interviews, the guy is super smart. But we also know he's a fiery player. Everybody's seen how he reacts on the football field. He's very emotional, very fiery. And I just couldn't help but think, seeing, this incident, is there some CTE going on there? Like I said, I don't want to put negative stigmas on anybody. I'm not saying it is. I'm not a doctor. But it just looked like, man, this is not him, I mean, yes, we see him on the field, we see him fiery, but this is not him. And And so it got me to wondering about, is there some CTE going on maybe? And so that leads us to our question of the day, which is, should the NFL restrict players from playing who exhibit characteristics of CTE? And we're basically talking, mainly off the field, but I guess it can be on the field as well. So like we said, question of the day, should the NFL restrict players who exhibit characteristics of CTE from playing in the league? And I'm gonna toss that out there to the Tunnel Crew. And like we said, we want to go on record as saying we are not saying Richard Sherman has CTE. So don't say, oh, the Tunnel Crew said, they slandered him. We didn't say that. Just said some of this stuff looked like it was characteristics of CTE. So Tunnel Crew, we're gonna throw that out there and let you talk about it.
So question, Big T.
Yes, sir.
Educate me on this because I need to be educated on this CTE.
Can you
explain that to me? Not saying that he has it or anything, but I want to know exactly what I'm discussing before I even discuss it.
Yeah. It's a chronic traumatic cephalopathy. Is that I know I'm messing that up. I'm not a doctor, but basically, let me put it in layman's terms. It's when players' brains, and it happens to boxers, anything, it happens to people in the public. If you get in a car wreck, you can have, so it's when your brain smacks up against your skull and it causes bruising and damaging to your brain. It's been linked to violent mood swings, temper problems, emotional issues. Junior Seau famously killed himself, and they studied his brain. He had CTE. There have been several retired players, several players who have killed themselves or done violent things, to their family and to other people. And when they died, they've studied their brain and found that they had CTE. So that's what we're talking about. And a lot of players, there are a lot of young guys that have been retiring lately because of the fear of this. San Francisco's had, I think, 2 or 3 guys in their 20s retire because they had several concussions and they said they were afraid of developing CTE. So that's what it is, basically, Birdman. And I know I messed that medical explanation of the word up of the what it means, but basically that's the layman's terms right there.
The best way to tell you is when I want you to go ahead and pop your popcorn and go watch the movie Concussion.
Yes.
He is the one who founded it and labeled it with the term. So the demonstration I just gave you is, you're going at a very fast pace. Like you mentioned, you're going at a very fast pace, and all of a sudden you're either hitting heads or you're hitting against the body. But regardless, even if you're hitting a body part, if you're going full speed and all of a sudden you're hitting something else, your brain is actually hitting itself against the skull. When that continues, then what happens is the skull is deprived of oxygen slowly over time. So when it gets deprived of oxygen and all of that, then what happens is their brain can't function in that particular part. So like, just shortly, just to tell you, so, I'm using my right hand, but the right part of your skull controls the left hand side. So, and then vice versa. So, if part of your brain is damaged, even that's how people have strokes. Part of their brain is damaged, or you have a ischemic stroke. So I say all that because these are things that it can lead to, and definitely has research has showed that we've had violent behaviors and all of that leading up to it. And most of the time, people don't know at first. So I think that's great, and I'll go ahead and kind of give my say so on it because I was waiting to really hear from Aggie P. But I just feel like these are early signs of it because we look at the history of players who have definitely said that they had CTE that we found out later on, especially through autopsies. Then yes, I do feel like these can be early signs. The hard part is, what are those early signs? This is a repeated pattern of different things we have seen, including Antonio Brown. So these are repeated things. and to know that he was already on medication. Now, I'm not going to say he was on medication because of depression, that's a sign, but if it has gotten worse, and only his wife and them would know that. If it's to the point where medication is not doing it, we definitely need to look into it.
Let me jump in right quick and show. I found the definitions. CTE is chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Okay, it's a progressive and fatal brain disease associated with repeated traumatic brain injuries, including concussions and repeated blows to the head. It's also associated with the development of dementia. So there we go. All right.
Big T, I think it is a good idea. But I don't know. It's going to have to be a criteria or what TP was saying, like something repeated, because I think you're going to probably miss it with guys that don't have those symptoms.
Yeah.
For an example, when I hear about Richard Sherman, when I heard the story, I didn't think CTE.
You didn't? Okay.
I heard alcohol. I heard he was on medication.
Yeah.
And also, Brother Sherman is getting old and he's getting slower. And it's a lot of pressure on that man. And if you got a lot of pressure like that on that man, he could have been depressed. And you cannot mix alcohol and the medication.
Yes.
And if you're going through some depression, it's going to cause those type of behaviors.
Yes.
That's what I received from it.
And that's beautiful.
I mean, I didn't receive CTE. It could be some early signs, but I think once we start putting this label out there like that, we're going to get a lot of that. We might save some players, but then again, it might have nothing to do with CTE.
Well, the one thing about it is they said you don't know until the person dies and you get a chance to study their brain.
And that's the sad part about it.
Yeah, there's nothing that can show you that they've got it while they're alive.
Exactly. I mean, they could just be, like I said, like Richard Sherman's situation, because I think even his foundation it deals with mental health awareness. So he's taking, medication for depression. So we know he has that going on, even though he's a 4.0 guy, smart or whatever. But hey, he might not have that part of his life together.
Yeah.
And like I said before, if you mix alcohol with that medication, man, you're going to see those type of behaviors. And plus that pressure. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to pick me up this
year. Yeah.
And a lot of guys, it's hard for them to realize that the fat lady has sung and it's over.
It's higher.
I didn't mean it, ain't no wrong with skinny lady, fat lady.
Hey, the fat man.
Right. A lot of the guys that play professional, especially football players, because y'all hear me tell the stories before here. The guys come back from homecoming, they still talk like we in school. I'm like, whoa, bro, whoa. I'm not going out there on that field. The boys would kill us, So it's hard for some guys to let it go. So to answer your question, Big T, I think it would be excellent if they can determine what that looked like. I just don't want them to end a person's career because they got a lot of pressure on them. They want to get picked up. Or, that type of thing. So that's my answer towards it. Because like I said, when I heard the Richard Sherman story, I didn't think CTE. I was like, wow. Alcohol.
You know what I love about that too? I love that you brought the former players' mindset and perspective to the dialogue, because like you said, the first thing you thought about was the alcohol. And that was the part of the story that I didn't even mention because I had forgotten about that, the alcohol, because he was drunk,
Yeah.
So,
and if they do this, you're gonna have a lot of guys really. I mean, they might have escorts to go around with them. Look, don't let me get in trouble. If they see me turn up something, they're gonna say I have CTE. So, it can be a good thing, like TP was saying. I mean, we can just if they can come up with something that really identify it and don't mess up a person's career. So that's my take on the whole thing, Big T.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would like to add great answer, Aggie P. Great answer, TP. And I had this to say: if LeBron was to flip out right now, because everything's coming to an end. Everything's coming to an end, and he was flipping out. I wouldn't think it was CTE. I wouldn't think. I was like, you know what? He smells Giannis breathing down his neck with that championship tonight. Game 6, baby. I'm telling you right now, baby. Get ready, LeBron. You're gonna be tight.
We're gonna let you have it because I knew you were gonna act like this tonight. I knew it.
He'll get tight. LeBron gonna flip out. He's gonna try to break down the doors at Dan Gilbert house or Jenny Buss house. I need some players and I need them now because I'm not gonna lose to Giannis next year. I'm not ready to give it up. I'm telling you, he's gonna flip out and they're gonna let him out on his own recognizances too. He all right.
All right, so Bird, now that you have a better understanding and everything, you've had a chance to process it. Your thoughts on the question, man?
Knowing what I know about everything, like Aggie P, when I first heard this story, I heard Hennessy, I heard a shot of something else. I can't remember exactly what he had prior to the phone call that was leaked out from 911 with his wife and everything. But I knew that's all I heard was about alcohol and the antidepressants that he was taking, medication that he was taking. So I do agree with majority of everything that Aggie P said. I'm kind of in the same boat he is.
Yeah.
I think it was just a case of Sherman just having a bad day. He was really, going through it, and he's just having really a bad day. I can't contribute it. Even though those are characteristics of it, I can't really contribute it to that.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of just the pressure of everything just getting to him.
Yeah. And like we said, we want to say we are not saying Richard Sherman had CTE.
Right.
We are not saying that. And like I said, from what I saw, I thought, man, this seems out of character, like his wife said, out of character for him. So the first thing I thought about was, I wonder if there is some of that. Of course, we won't know. I mean, we won't find out anything like that because that means something tragic has happened. So we are not saying that he has it. We just, it just made us think about the league as a whole, because it is a problem that the league is dealing with. And it made us think, is this something that the league needs to look into when players start to do things that aren't, and even if it's nothing more than saying, look, we think you need to take some time off, get some help, you know what I'm saying? And we want to try to make sure that everything's all right before we put you back on the field.
Now, one thing I will say, Big T, is that, and I think the linebacker from the Carolina Panthers, he was having concussions over and over and over. Now, that's one thing that I think they can put at the top of the list. If you get so many in a year, you need to go.
Yeah.
I mean, because something is not right whenever you going head on with someone, and that can really, a concussion is no joke. You got some of these guys having 3 and 4 a year. No, that's not good.
I think I'm going to be honest. I have to truly respect Luke Kuechly for that.
Yeah,
retiring young, recognizing that, and trying to get the help now, because some people would chase the money, and he's trying to chase being alive. And I really have to say, if it was not for knowledge of CTE, I truly do not think that he probably would have retired at that time.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, hey, it was an interesting question of the day, interesting dialogue, a lot of great conversation. And you can get more of that every Tuesday night on YouTube. Catch the at-home version of the show on YouTube every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And it's on the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. And then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. And it's on WLJFradio.com. It's also available on the 100.7 WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. When we come back, it's time for the wrap-up. You're listening to At Home with the Crossover.
What's so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometowninsurvice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, two locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
It's time now for the crossover wrap-up report. Let's send it back to the Tunnel Crew.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover, and a couple of quick mentions, right quick before we move on to our wrap up. You'll love this, Aggie P. The golf tournament happened last weekend, and Bryson DeChambeau, he went out and blamed his driver for his struggles in the first round and everything. And you remember before we went on the break, we talked about the little rivalry between him and my man Brooks Koepka. All right.
Yes.
So he talked about the driver. DeChambeau blamed the driver, and the sponsors didn't like that. They said that was a stupid thing he said, and they basically got on him. He came back the next day and apologized. Well, Brooksy took a shot at him. Brooksy posted on his social media account a picture of him pulling up to the golf course, said, "I'm driving to the golf course." And then in the press conference, they were talking to him and they were asking him about, his second round. He said, well, his golf course pretty good. Winds were good. Hey, I love my driver.
See, even the golfers trying to step up and be aggressive. I like that.
So that was, wow. I wanted to mention that because I thought you would get a laugh off of that. And then Ted Ginn Jr. retires. Remember, he played for the Panthers. He was drafted by my Dolphins, number, I think, 8 or 9 in that draft. And he retired after 14 years in the league. So congratulations, Ted. Enjoy your retirement. Hey, Eli and Peyton Manning are going to be doing an alternate ESPN Monday Night Football broadcast. It's going to be on ESPN2. A lot of people think this is kind of silly because they think it's going to take away from the Monday Night Football broadcast, but this is the only way Peyton would agree to do it. And, they've been trying to get him on Monday Night Football for years. He keeps saying no. So they gave him and Eli an alternate broadcast. And I guarantee you more people are going to be watching that than the Monday night broadcast. And that's going to be embarrassing for ESPN. So Coco Gauff withdrew from the Olympics because she tested positive for COVID. So she will not be on Team USA's tennis squad over there in Tokyo. And then finally, Tom Brady, TB12, announced that he played all of last year with an MCL tear. So the legend continues to grow like Paul Bunyan, everybody. I played all year with a torn MCL. All right, let's get to the standings. 2 weeks ago, our last picks before we went on break, TP, Birdman, Orangeman, and Aggie P all went 5-2 and won the league. Congratulations, y'all. Stats came in second with 4 and 3, and then me, Bromel, and Radar, we sitting at the bottom at 3 and 4. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I've been struggling for weeks now, and I think I had at one point like a 12 or 13 game lead. You'll see in the standings, it's not that anymore. I'm leading the way at 98 wins, but Birdman is closing the gap. He's got 90 wins. He's only 8 wins behind. Radar and Aggie P are tied at 86. Yeah, because Radar is slipping too. So Aggie P's been on fire. And then Stats has got 84 wins, TP 79 wins, Bromel 71 wins, and Orangeman has 30 wins. All right, our picks for this week. NBA Finals, who's gonna win it? Bucks in 6 or 7 or Suns in 7? Who's gonna be the MVP? And then we got 3 games between the San Francisco Giants and the Dodgers. Who will win that series and by how many games? And then we've got the Red Sox and the Yankees playing a 4-game series. Who will win that series and by how many games? And we'll go ahead and start with TP. Queen, give us your picks.
Okay, I was actually sitting here looking for my picks.
You want me to read them for you?
I think I have them. The Bucks in 7.
Yep.
Giannis, Dodgers, New York in series.
Okay. You got and here's what you gave me. You got Yankees 3-1 and Dodgers 2-1.
Okay.
So there you go. All right. Aggie P, give us yours, sir.
Big T, have you ever given some picks you just really didn't feel good about?
Oh yeah.
Well, here we go, Big T.
Hey.
The Suns in 7. Chris Paul. Let me take the Giants 2-1. And the Red Sox 3-1.
All right.
I got to stick with Chris Paul, man.
So you got to stick with Chris. All right. Radar, give us your pick, sir.
First of all, Aggie P, shame on you.
I know, man. I'm sorry, Radar.
And I'm gonna make up for it. Game 6 tonight. Giannis MVP.
All right.
Set it down. And then we're gonna go with Boston over to New York 3-0. And then I'm taking the A's 3-0.
Actually, hold on. Here's what you got. Here's what you gave me. You gave me the Giants 3-0 over the Dodgers, and then you got the split between the Yankees and the Red Sox. 2-2 split.
I'll take that.
Okay. All right. Birdman, give us yours, sir.
Suns in 7. Chris Paul, CP3, MVP. Dodgers 2-1, and my Yankees split 2-2.
All right, 2-2 split. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give you stats. Stats has the Suns in 7. Devin Booker is his MVP. Dodgers 2-1 in the series, and Red Sox 3-1 in the series. Bromel has the Bucks in 6 games. He's got Giannis as the MVP. Dodgers 2-1, and Yankees 3-1 in that series. And Orangeman has the Suns in 7. He's got Chris Paul as the MVP. He's got the Giants 2-1, and he's got the Yankees 3-1. And I took the Bucks in 6. Giannis is the MVP. Dodgers 2-1, and Red Sox 3-1. Even though I think Chris Middleton should win MVP, but he's not. If the Bucks win. All right, it's time for shout outs. Shut up and play. Anybody want to throw it out there?
I want to say a shout out to Who Am I Magazine for featuring Little Changers, the organic baby food. So please go and get your organic baby food. Place your order at CHENGERS.com.
There we go. Anybody else?
Shout out to Giannis, Radar. Shout out
to CP3, baby. Game 6, go home. Be happy, dog. You made
Birdman, you got one?
Shout out to us for making a great show tonight.
All right, there you go. Hey, shout out to Candace Parker for appearing on the 25th edition of 2K. There you go. Hey,
Rooftop.
For all of the Toronto crew, I'm your man, Big T, signing off and saying, no matter where you are, look up and know that your creator is there. Until next time, see ya, and we might want to be you.
That's all we have for you today. So be sure to join us next week for The Crossover. And remember, the Tunnel Crew don't play unless we have something to say.
I'm still bored.
Okay,
All
I
right.
have to know.
Yes,
what was
sir.
the water? What was the
Yeah, I don't know.
and who put up there